Hi, I'm Linda from Sew & Bee Fabrics. I'm going to show you how to make a waistband where the elastic won't twist. So all I've done so far is I've turned under the raw edge, I've then pressed that in place and then turned it again, so there's enough space there for the elastic to easily be able to run through. I'm popping it underneath my sewing machine foot. I like to line up this part of the foot with the outer edge of the fabric, so I lower that down in place there. I've got the needle in a left-handed position, so I'm going to go really close to this edge, and then I just double check that I've got my threads both facing backwards, so I'm not going to end up with a bird's nest of threads as I start to stitch. So I'm just going to manually lower the needle just to make sure that everything's in the right place, and then we're good to go. Okay, and so you can see I've left a space here where I can pass my elastic through. Now, normally I'd thread my elastic with a big safety pin, however that's gone walkabout, so today I'm using a hair clip that's just been wrapped around the elastic, and it works just as well, it's just a little bit more bulky. So if I were to thread it through with just the waistband done like this, which is what a lot of people do, you'll be able to see how it differs. Okay, so you can see that the top of it is really easily movable. So as you're wearing it, that elastic's going to keep moving and it's just going to keep rolling inside, and that's why you end up with a twisted waistband that seems almost impossible to be able to fix. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a layer of top stitching first, and then we're going to thread it through. So all we're going to do is just a top stitch right the way along this top edge here. So I've gone right to the very end, overlapped it slightly with the other line. You don't need to leave a gap like you would have done with finding a space to be able to put your elastic through. And then what that will do is it will hold it in place an awful lot better. So let's have a bit of a look as to how that's going to turn out. So I'm just going to pass the elastic back through. I'm just putting it back in through the hole and then using the hair clip as something to pull it round with. Okay, and we're out again. So we're just going to join these two ends together, and then we'll have a look at what our waistband's looking like. So my favourite way of joining elastic without any bulk is just first off to do a straight stitch and then reverse it, and then I go again. And there's no way that's coming undone now. So I take it out, and then I open it up and I flatten this part out, and then I come down the sides with a zigzag stitch. So now you can see we've got a really sturdy join, but it's nice and flat as well. I'm just going to pull this back out and ease the elastic back through. And you can see my elastic's disappeared back up. So as you can see, the waistband's sitting nice and flat, and you can see if I try and scrunch the fabric around it, it doesn't really matter how much I twist and turn the fabric, the elastic underneath just isn't moving. So there you have it. That's how to make an elastic waistband that doesn't twist up inside. For most waistbands that will probably be enough, but for some waistbands they need a little bit extra help on top of that. Especially it would be the case if you made the channel a little bit wider than the elastic and so you have a little bit too much space to turn. The other reason could be if the elastic was more prone to folding, so a thinner elastic is more likely to do this. Or, for example, maybe children's or plus size clothing that might have a little bit more strain or movement on the waistband might be more prone to doing this. So if you want to reinforce it to make even more sure that it's not going to turn, what you can do is to add strategic points where you add sewing down the side. So what I prefer to do is to add that to the side seam, and then you can see you've already got your line of sewing here, so you can match that with your sewing on your sewing machine. Some people prefer to add a little bit extra at the front and the back as well, but bear in mind this will leave a line. But it's not going to be that obvious in amongst all the folds of the fabric as things are moving. And it really is as easy as sewing right down this little line here. And now as you can see, you can barely even see that line of stitching, so you wouldn't even know it was there, securing your waistband down even more. And there you have it, a very secure waistband that isn't going to twist under any situation. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button and we'll bring you more soon.